A monster, a serpent-head killer, hunted relentlessly by warriors who wanted her head for their trophy cabinet. However, gaze deep into her eyes for just a second, and you'll see a tale of betrayal and tragedy. Then you'll be turned to stone. This is Medusa, and this is her story. Born to parents Phorcys and Ceto, two of the Greek Pantheon's primordial deities, Medusa was the youngest of three Gorgon sisters. While her older siblings retained godlike traits such as immortality from their parents, Medusa was born immortal, but blessed with divine beauty. Maturing into a young woman, Medusa immersed herself in the worship of Athena, the revered goddess of wisdom and war, dedicating her life as a priestess in the goddess's sacred temple. Such was her extraordinary beauty that people flocked to the temple merely to catch a glimpse of her in person. However, her alluring presence did not escape the notice of Poseidon, the god of the seas, who found himself captivated by her charm. Despite Poseidon's advances, Medusa, bound by her unwavering commitment to her role in the temple of Athena, declined his propositions, adhering to the oath of celibacy required by the goddess. Poseidon was undeterred by this, appearing one day at the temple to forcefully have his way with Medusa, as the gods took what the gods wanted without concern for their targets. Dejected and humiliated, Medusa prayed to Athena for guidance. Athena, however, already holding some resentment due to Medusa's natural allure and unable to punish her brother Poseidon even if she wanted to due to divine warfare being forbidden, decided to shun Medusa. She punished the young woman for breaking the promise of retaining her virginity. Some versions of this tale describe how Poseidon seduced Medusa, who willingly betrayed her oath to Athena. Regardless, the result was the same. Athena, consumed by rage and betrayal, cast a damning curse upon the once beautiful priestess. Medusa's luscious locks, which once cascaded with divine allure, were twisted into a nest of venomous serpents that writhed and hissed with every movement. The enchanting radiance of her appearance, which once captivated onlookers, gave way to a serpentine horror that struck terror into the hearts of those who beheld her. Most famously of all, Athena's vengeful wrath doomed any unfortunate soul that dared to meet Medusa's gaze, turning them into stone with an instant and irreversible petrification. Medusa underwent a profound metamorphosis, emerging no longer as the desired young woman, but as a grotesque and feared monster. Cast out from her once hospitable home, she found refuge on the desolate island of Sarpedon alongside her Gorgon sisters, dwelling within a foreboding cave. The tales of her nightmarish transformation swiftly traversed the vast expanse of lands, attracting countless brave, or perhaps foolhardy souls seeking to claim her head as a coveted prize. Yet every bold attempt met a sinister fate. A mere fleeting glimpse into her once entrancing eyes rendered those would-be conquerors petrified, turned to stone, damned to stand in the same spot for all eternity, or until they crumbled to dust. This ability would keep her alive until once again the gods intervened. Perseus, yet another child from the affairs of Zeus, had been raised by his mother Danae. The pair lived together on the Greek island of Seriphus, ruled by King Polydectes. The king grew fond of Danae, but she did not reciprocate his feelings, leaving Perseus to be seen as an obstacle by the king, always there by the side of his mother to protect her. Polydectes therefore conducted a plan to remove Perseus from the picture, giving him ample time to win Danae's heart and eventually marry her. Perseus was sent on a quest by the king to kill Medusa and return with her head. Hearing of this impossible task, Athena, still bitter towards her former priestess, stepped in, working with her Olympian family to give Perseus the tools he needed to complete this dire mission. From Athena, he received her mirror shield, polished to perfection. This enabled him to traverse through Medusa's island and cave without the risk of looking into her eyes by using its reflection. From Hades, he was given the Helmet of Invisibility, rendering him completely invisible. Perseus would be able to stealthily pick his way through the Gorgon lair and approach Medusa unseen. From his father, Zeus, he was handed a sword, crafted by Hephaestus, his half-brother and god of the forge. Long and deadly sharp, the blade gave him the means to decapitate with a single slice. And from Hermes, the winged sandals that would allow Perseus to move quick as the wind and fly away once the deed was done. With his loadout complete, Perseus located the cave where Medusa slept. Although invisible, he crept slowly backwards, using the reflective shield to guide his path. Once close enough, he wielded his sharpened blade to behead the Gorgon. One single, bloody swing separating her serpentine head from her once delicate shoulders. Then shoved his prize, her head, into a sack. Only this wasn't the end of Medusa's influence on the myths of old. Poor, cursed Medusa was actually pregnant with the children of Poseidon, and upon her death, it is claimed that Pegasus and Chrysaor were born from her neck stump. It wasn't the end of Medusa's influence on her immediate surroundings, as her decapitated head retained its powers of petrification. Perseus used these for a time before gifting the head to Athena when returning her shield. With godly magic, Athena combined the two, meaning anyone who looked at the shield would turn to stone. The shield soon became one of the most feared weapons in all of Greece. The story of Medusa, like many from ancient Greece, is legendary. Although dying a feared monster, what makes this tale so tragic is that she was a victim of those who ruled, seemingly uncaring of the pain they caused. Medusa was a devout priestess, yet she was betrayed by Athena, the one she loved the most. Even as the so-called monster, she lived alongside her sisters in isolation, only to be hunted by the people who once upon a time would have loved her hand in marriage, impossible as that was. Medusa has become a legend, occupying an infamous spot in the Pantheon of Greek mythology, as immortal as her gaze, even after death. Do you wear clothes? Do you like mythology? If you answered yes to both of those questions, then do yourself a huge favor and head over to Pantheon Apparel. Our clothing brand is inspired by mythology, legends, and folklore. We ship worldwide and are rated excellent on Trustpilot. Link is in the description below. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new in these parts. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.